So last night, as some of you would have seen, I went to my dad's for dinner and had some amazing venison, which obviously I shot, and everything else from the garden, which yeah, was really good. And then I went out just as it was getting dark, and I took my lamp because obviously as it got dark, then you know I wanted to make sure I could carry on shooting. And I was going after this fox that I've been sort of trying to get for a while, and I know where it hangs out. I know where its den was, where it was raised. It's just obviously a cub as it was getting towards the winter. And yeah, so I went out last night, and what follows is what happened.
So I started looking down by the paddock. Now this is where I got most of the foxes from before. I got this one's mother and her brother, and that corner which I'm looking down there, that in that little bit of woodland, that's roughly where the den is, and further up there to my right, that's where the spinney is, where they keep taking the pheasants. So I had a look, and I saw her flitting about amongst some sheep further up along this hedge line. And as you can see, it's not quite dark. It's about, I don't know, at this time about 7:45, and it's actually darker than it looks. The camera's picking up more. I had to wait for a while because it's flitting about up in that top corner, and obviously I want to make a safe shot. Now, as I said before, I'll do a video on backstops, but this is a spot where I have to be a bit careful because it's quite flat, so I need to make sure that there's a decent amount of ground behind the fox. But you can see there it's coming in a lot. It's starting to come in a lot closer. So I just waited a bit longer and took him down. Now that went through the front of his chest and came out, well, his side a little bit, because obviously it starts rolling when it hits him from the expanding. Now, a lot of people, when they see that, they see the guts everywhere and they assume that I've shot it in the guts. But of course, that's the exit, not the entrance. The entrance wound you won't see because, as I said, it's just like a little hole. But yeah, he was a goner. Now, this is me just taking off the brush. That's with my Eka Swede 10, which took a second or two, but obviously, you know, really you shouldn't be cutting through bone. But I always like to take the brush. Something we always used to do as kids, we used to pickle them. So that was it. And I went and sort of got rid of him.
So as you can see, another one down, and yeah, that was an interesting shot. As some of you may have seen, I had to sort of wait for quite a while because it was sort of around some sheep, and making sure it was a safe shot was, you know, it's a bit of a judgment call really, but I needed to make sure that there was a decent amount of distance behind it, because, and obviously it got quite a bit closer, because when you're shooting on that sort of angle, obviously my rifle's about this high off the ground, and the fox's chest is about that high off the ground, so it's going down. But obviously when it's really flat like that, you want to make sure there's a good amount of land behind it. As I said before, this is something I will come on to when I do a video about backstops. It's not the easiest thing to sort of make into something interesting to watch, but bear with me, that will be coming. And yeah, so I took it down, and after that I went to the Old Common, and there are some foxes there that I know about, but I didn't see them, unfortunately. I did hear a very inconvenienced pheasant, which may have been being abused in some way, but I didn't manage to find them. But what I did see, and I unfortunately didn't get it on camera, well, I kind of did, but it was so grainy on the head cam and with the lamp that you can't really make it out. What I did see was a badger, really up close and personal, and that was really cool, to be honest. It was literally like within 5 or 10 yards of me, snuffling around, came running up directly towards me, and then went into the sort of undergrowth. So it's always great going out. You know, you always see something cool. I think I saw a barn owl as well while I was about. It's interesting what you see just as the light starts going. It starts getting sort of dark. At the moment, if any of you are going out and you're looking for, say, foxes, it's a really good time of year. If you get to about this, as of today, if you're talking about 8 o'clock at night, just as it's just getting dark, if you've got a good scope, then you should be able to see okay. And obviously visually you can pretty much see, but it's very much just like on the cusp of it getting dark. And yeah, that's when they come out, because I'm not a big fan of lamping, if I'm honest. I much prefer that time of night. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Keep watching.